We're live.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. It's Fran and Brandy back for week 2 of the book club for August. So I'm gonna check on my Facebook to see if we're actually on here, and then we refresh, and then we'll chit chat a little bit and let people get on. So, how was your week, Brandy?
The week has been good and slow.
Yeah, right. I'm acting like I haven't talked to you all week.
Yeah, trying to stay out and stay active in the
Yeah.
heat, but
Yeah, it's hot there too. Well, I guess it would be because we're just like 5 hours drive away from you. It's not like we're on a whole other side of the country.
yeah, the humidity won't let me be great. So,
Yeah.
I have these big plans to walk all of these miles in one day, and yeah, about 20 minutes in, I'm almost, crawling
Yeah.
back.
Are you starting early? Like what time of day?
Like 10:30 in the
Hmm.
morning. And I would probably have to start late or earlier
Hmm.
than that.
I didn't go outside for probably over a whole week. Remember, so we had the hurricane, then we had those crazy killer mosquitoes, the
Oh yeah.
giant mosquito, they were like cricket mosquito, like a cross between like they had inbred or something. It was like crickets and mosquitoes. I
Yeah.
didn't go outside for over a whole week. And I got on the scale, I had gained 2 pounds, like it was bad.
Oh
And I had fell off my routine of my flexibility in the morning because I was doing it inside. And so I'm not looking up at the sky. I'm not like enjoying it as much. So it makes a huge difference.
I really,
But
yeah,
when,
for sure.
yeah, like it makes it, I mean, I was still doing it, but I was doing like 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I have a lot of resistance with inside exercising for
mm,
some reason.
yeah,
I
yeah, you
can
gotta be
relate.
outside.
Yeah.
But anyway, I said all that to say that I did it today and I did it yesterday, I think, but or day before. But I try to do it before Grace wakes up and she wakes up like a rooster. It was like 7 something
Okay.
and like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And it's tolerable. It's like just getting there. We have shade on the back in the morning, but
Mhm.
then like after 8 o'clock, it's hot. It's
Yeah.
really hot, so I can't even imagine walking. I'll walk like in the neighborhood, but it's in the evening time.
Yeah.
It's
I've been
crazy.
I've been touring different parks trying to find shade.
Oh yeah,
But the humidity. So even when I'm
yeah.
at a shaded trail like the Terry Hershey Trail, it's
Hmm.
still so hot just because of the
Hmm.
humidity out here.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll jump right in. So, but you're in like beast mode when you're walking. I can't. I don't. I shouldn't say can't. I don't walk as much as you do. Like you are a walker. Maybe I
yeah,
should aspire to that. Maybe it should be like, okay, how many miles are we doing today? I'm gonna cut it in half. I'll do half. Like I'll do half of what you're doing.
I noticed that if I'm talking on the phone or just I have a lot of dialogue in my head or I'm thinking about stuff, it's easier to walk
Hmm. That's
or
actually a good point.
having
Yeah.
conversations with trees.
Yes. You know what I should do is put in the Rachel Rogers podcast. Have you listened to it yet?
I haven't listened to her podcast, but I follow her, so I'm
Yes.
familiar with
Oh
her.
my gosh. She makes you want to, you got to, I usually listen while I'm doing the dishes because I'm like, you got to be moving around because she makes you feel like you can't sit still. It's just like, wait, I got to move. So I should probably listen to that if I walk.
She's moving the energy.
Yes, she moves to your energy. All right, so let's talk about the book. I can't see that anybody's on, but that's okay. They can join in later. Guys, put in hashtag replay if you watch the replay. Go ahead and comment real time like you always do because when I read them back, I'm kind of like, what are they talking about? And I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the comment that goes with whatever we were saying. So yes, please let us know that you're watching because that inspires us to like keep going with this. I know people are like excited about this month, building a simple, happy home, building a home that actually supports our manifestation goals. And it's been a lot of fun so far, so we're going to keep going. So every Wednesday, we're going to keep talking about getting edge in life with essential oils. Sandi has written this amazing book. Sandi's in our community, and I'm super proud of her because this book is not too long. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
sometimes a book, like the first 50 pages will just be filled of fluff. You know, they keep saying, in this book, I'm going to show you this, that, and the other. And it's like, could you just tell me?
Yeah,
Right?
this book is full of gems and just
Yes.
life changing, right?
Life changing right out the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Last week we were talking about the first 25 pages and we had we went on for an hour and I probably could have still talked more, but it was like page 6, she was already dropping the bomb. So it's definitely not a fluffy book. If you get it, like it's legit from start to finish. So hopefully everybody's downloaded it. So I'm going to start off on page 28. So we're talking about pages 26 to 50, like up to 50, which is basically half of the book, first half of the book. Because there was something that she was writing that was just like mind blowing to me. And it's kind of, it's like stuff in the back of your head. But when you look at it from the point of essential oils, it's like, that makes a huge, difference in what I was thinking about. And on page 28, she's talking about triggers, basically like saying your sense of smell is the only sense is like directly connected to the limbic node, which is the emotional control center of the brain that's responsible for anxiety, depression, fear, anger, and joy. And so it's kind of like we know that smells will instantly remind us of a memory or instantly spark an emotion. But to imagine that like we can spark a good emotion or spark like a healthy emotion. Who came in? It's real life, y'all. It's like,
I know. Yes, James is at the grocery store right
audio
now.
verite. Video verite. Who's that?
Did y'all see the mom hand? Tyler.
Tyler. Hi, Tyler.
You already know.
I just saw the eyes. It was just like, don't you dare.
Okay.
What?
Look.
What? Like silent. Which like
we're on live.
No, it's cool. That's mine are sleeping. That's the only reason why I come live at 1 because they're sleeping. Because otherwise, well, you have all seen what happens when Grace is awake.
You're so good at multitasking.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm just happy she didn't come in like buck naked anymore when I'm like, oh, gotta go. Gotta go, bye. That was not cool.
Living her best life.
Yes. But yeah, so the smells will trigger thoughts that we have, either memories from the past or emotions. They can be negative or positive. So why not spark some positive emotions, right? So we are not even consciously aware of it yet when we smell something, like how we go from here to there instantly. Has that happened to you before?
Yeah, well, I remember smelling certain perfumes that would remind me of being in daycare at like 4.
Ooh,
and
wow.
it would, I would be in a store and somebody would have a fragrance and it would just take me back to a memory that I totally forgot about.
Oh, wow.
But, in my mindful journey, now I noticed that I've started to, I don't know if this is even healthy, but burning incense or, when I diffuse eucalyptus, I can, observe myself taking deep breaths like it is when you're actually trying to take deep breaths or going for a walk. I literally feel myself do this big exhale.
Yes.
And in a society where we're not breathing like we're supposed to, we don't notice that we're breathing. That's a really good, that's something that I want more of. Let me diffuse and have healthy sense in my environment because I need to breathe more so that I can think clearly, make sound decisions, and kind of carry through. So I just made that observation like 2 days ago. Like, man, you know what? Diffusing oils, promotes really good deep sound breathing. So
it because of that, it makes you aware of your breathing because you can feel it, right? Like peppermint does that, and eucalyptus does that, and that menthol kind of feeling, like it tingles, so it makes you aware and like conscious of your breath. That is a really good point because we do need to breathe, and a lot of times we're just here and we hold our breath. We don't even realize it until you just get so like stressed out that you're just like, okay, now I got to stop and do 3 deep breaths. Hey, so Tiani was on Lisa Nichols' webinar yesterday, right? Did you listen to any of it?
Yes.
Were you part? Okay, because I
I,
listened to it.
I, yeah. What's her name? It was
Yeah,
the lady with the pretty white top.
yeah. I forgot her name too, like
Did you
Mocha or
find
something
her?
like that. Moya
Yeah, it was like
or Noya,
Kava. Kavia.
Kava,
Yeah, but
Koya, Koya. Wasn't it
I
Koya?
don't know. Koya. Yes,
I
yes,
thought
it
it
was
was.
Koya.
Was it Koya? I'm gonna look at my phone right quick. I feel bad butchering a woman's name because she was really good.
She was
Let me
so
see.
good.
Koya Webb or something like that, I think.
Yes, it's exactly what it was, Koya Webb. And so yeah, her, you
Yeah,
know,
but it was funny because like Lisa, remember when Lisa kind of jumped in, she was like, I ended up in yoga one day and I was like, what am I doing in yoga? But she said that the thing about yoga that really got her was that she noticed herself taking deep breaths and that was like the
yeah,
best thing ever because she felt so connected to source because of the deep breaths and like bringing it back down to the breath. And I was like, oh yeah, like you just like you know it, but then when you hear somebody say it, it's like, oh, that's right. The breath work is like the best feeling of all, 'cause
yes,
yoga hurts.
yes. Something so simple as yoga.
Yeah,
Sometimes we fight with the idea of that type of
mhm.
surrender, but when you do it, it's so simple. Not easy, but it's
Exactly.
simple because
Yes.
it is these simple things, these simple connections to nature, the simple,
Mhm.
natural smells that really assist you in doing something um, just as simple but as necessary as breathing. Breathing
Right.
deeply, you need that.
Right. And it
Yeah.
makes me think about how like we make things so complicated. And it's like when our bodies were created, we weren't created to complicate every single thing and make it like hard to do everything. It's hard to live, it's hard to make money, it's hard to interact with people, it's hard to have a conversation. I mean, it's like everything we do, we make it so hard. And it's like, what if it's not supposed to be this hard? Like what if
Yeah,
it's just supposed to be simple? What if you're just supposed to focus on your breath and follow your intuition and that's it?
exactly. Even as complicated as looking on the back of some of these ingredient labels that Sandy
Yeah.
was talking
Right.
about, with about 17 ingredients to try to smell like lemon.
Right.
There's a lemon right here.
It's a lemon right here. Like you can barely even just nick the peel with your fingernail, and it's like
Right.
this
It's
is
like
all
lemon,
okay. Right.
So
Oh my gosh, that's so true. That's so
yeah,
funny. Yeah. So she, and this we just on point number one, but like the triggers, and it's just like we have all these triggers associated with smells. Why don't we start making some new triggers, especially for our kids? If we still have kids in the home, like start so that later when they grow up and they smell eucalyptus, they remember to breathe and they think about how you used to always diffuse it in the house and how calm
yeah,
they felt and all this stuff.
yeah,
Because that can be, something that we give to the next generation.
absolutely.
I remember I worked in this facility, and there would always be like these bad behaviors and stuff, like people, just like screaming and all this stuff. And they were mentally challenged. But I always used to think, like, what if y'all diffuse something calming up in this joint, right? Like, what if would that make a difference in the behaviors? Would that make a difference in how people were acting? They also played a lot of rap music, and I was just like, I'm getting agitated, so I know these people getting agitated.
Yeah. Like
I'm just, let's just create some happy around here. Anywho, on page 29, she talks about and I do the screenshots of the pages because I know not everybody has time to just like read the whole book, So if you're watching and you haven't read the book, I still want you to be able to get something from it and kind of know like I don't have to read every book for the book club in Midlife Vibe Tribe. I can still hang out and participate just by listening to the conversation. So that is our gift to you. It's like we're giving you the highlight. But there's still other nuggets in the book that if you get it, like I'm missing some. There's so much in this book.
yeah.
Um, so page 29, she's saying that like our home is full of pollutants. All the chemicals that we use, the air is basically recycled. So all of our own germs, people sneezing in your house and all that stuff, that's just getting recycled. All the toxins from cleaning solutions, all this stuff is just getting recycled in our home. But
Mhm.
when we're diffusing, and she talks about cold air diffusing, when we're doing that, the essential oils that are going out diffused into the room is actually cleansing the air, is taking those germ particles and is removing them from the air. And I thought that was profound because I'm like, if you don't have an air scrubber, like we live in an apartment. Like, who knows how many people lived here before. And it's like, if you don't have an air scrubber, if you're not doing all that extra stuff, and we got coronaviruses just, everywhere, and people come delivering stuff, and you open the door and maybe it's lingering in the air and it sweeps on, it's just like having something diffusing all the time in our main room. It's just that added layer of safety and like feeling a little bit more protected, because you do all you can, and then you're like, what else can I do? But just feeling that little added layer of protection, even if it's just psychological, to me, that's beneficial to know that, like, okay, I can clean the air, not just make it smell good.
Right. So, when I read this section, I pulled out my second diffuser that I had under a cabinet. Doesn't work that well, but now I have two going, and I'm definitely looking, into different oils so that I can add to my collection, because something, like I said, so simple, we took for granted, and we kind of become blind to the things that we can't see. And when all of this time we might be breathing in like disgusting air.
Yeah. That's so true. So she was talking about, she has her diffuser. She has one in every room, and she has them cranked up full force during allergy and cold season. I was like, yes. Why don't we do that? So I used to diffuse thieves. So she talks about thieves and purification. I got my thieves. I don't even know where I got it from. But I love the story behind it. So I got it, and I just love it. But now I'm going to be more intentional about it. If I get another bottle, I'm going to make sure it's the pure one, and that I, diffuse it during cold and flu season also. And then, I mean, all the time now, because we just living in a pandemic. So all the time.
Yeah.
But I remember too, I used to put little drips of it in the dishwater, and also clean the cabinet. When you make your dishwater and you like clean the cabinets. And I remember I used to do that all the time, because my kids were in daycare, and I wanted to make sure they weren't like spreading the daycare germs around. But I was reading this and I was like, yeah, why don't I do that anymore? Because that is amazing. So
yeah, I used to do eucalyptus about a year ago. I would put some on a dish towel and wipe the cabinets with it, just to have that really nice,
like a built-in, baked-in, purity.
without
That's nice.
because instead of pine,
Right.
it feels more mechanic. So yeah, I mean, just good to know that we already had breadcrumbs of this intentional, thought process of living. And she talked about that in the book, about how women, we implement, and we look for ways to implement, things that are good for us into our routines.
Yeah. So let me see. That might be what's coming up next. Well, not quite yet. So page 33, she's talking about the Young Living oils, which I don't have any Young Living oils yet, but she talks about the vitality oils, the ones that are safe for ingestion, and how they are non-genetically modified. They're generally regarded as safe. GRAS is a rating, and they're also approved by the FDA, which means they have the seal of approval that you can actually consume them safely. And then last week, at some point, she posted this picture of her of her counter. Did you see that picture where she had? It was like a spice rack. They had like 30 oils on it.
I did see that. Yeah, and is that the picture when she pulled out the black pepper oil?
Yes. And she was like holding it there. I was like, goals like that. I was just like, I'm done. Like, I'm done.
I really had to go back in my mind to her warnings of one step at a time. And I'm so glad. Like, I know she did that for me. Thank you.
No, she did it for me.
Because you know what? I have to talk myself off of jumping off the ledge and trying to do everything at once. But I want the Vitality Oil Spice Rack too.
Me too. I was like, where do you just get the whole spice rack? Like, I don't want to have to find the spice rack and then figure out which individual oils are on the spice rack. So Sandi, when you're watching this, we just want to know, where can we just get the whole spice rack, like the whole thing all together? I mean, it's probably gonna be like $200. I don't know. Can we get a discount? Because
send us the link, Sandi.
Right? I'm like, I just need the whole thing as a kit. Just give it, because there were so many good ideas on there, like putting the lemon in the water, and I think she was even putting thieves in something too, and then like the peppermint in the brownie recipe. And I was like, oh man, that's like a, what do you call it? Like the peppermint patty when you
Yeah.
eat the brownie and it's cool up. I was like, ma'am, I just need a reason to eat brownies. Like, I'm just gonna be.
I can't eat brownies, but
I know. I really shouldn't either because remember I gained weight not going outside for 8 days in a row.
that's okay. We're seasonal in our bodies.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, she had another recipe of, I think it was herbs that she compiled, and she said that she put a
Is
little
that the rosemary chicken?
yeah, and so can you
Yeah.
imagine? I just envision like that nice chicken with the like big herbs all over it, and it was just
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yes, yes. And it seems so much easier just to think about drip dropping oils on the chicken, how it'll absorb into it instead of like how you shake it on top and then you get the skin or whatever, if you keep the skin on the chicken or whatever. But like that top layer has the flavor, but the inside doesn't. This is coming from a non-cook. I've had people cook food for me. Like Oche has cooked chicken at his house and brought me some. The flavor was through and through. Okay, so some people do cook and the flavor goes through and through. When I cook, it just stays on the top. So I
Yeah,
was like, oh, the oil might make it really penetrate and you get that juicy, you get the flavor all the way through if you eat meat. Some people don't even eat meat,
yeah,
but yeah, I'm sure you could add it to whatever, even if you put it in your in whatever recipe that you want that little added flavor. I mean, I could imagine shaking it on salad, just a drip of flavor here and there on your salad as opposed to putting a heavy salad dressing that's full of chemicals.
right.
Sometimes I just want a little olive oil and then just a little, black pepper or something in my salad and then let all the ingredients speak for themselves as opposed to putting like, I like, vinaigrette type dressing. So as opposed to doing all that heaviness, just a little bit of flavor. So I was like, I need the spice rack because I just need to experiment with some different things
Yeah,
in
like
food.
I definitely wanted to step my game up with my meat and trying to get it right.
Yeah,
And she definitely mentioned in the book too about a lot of people not even thinking that we can ingest oils. And I'm one of those people. I'm like, when she said that, it's hard for me not to actually, think about it as a chemical that goes into something externally. So
right,
really good
right.
information to know that we can ingest it.
Right. Like that's going to take a little bit of a jump. I
Mhm.
mean, reading about it so much in a book, like by the end of the book, I was convinced because I'm like, Sandy, Sandy's been doing this. She's still alive,
Right.
But we don't even really think about how we put things on our skin and our skin absorbs things. So what's more, what we put in our body, like if we put something in our body that's healthy, is basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I stopped using Jergens and all that stuff years ago when I started really reading about that. I'm like, why am I putting this on my skin? It's absorbing in. And, we were going through our fertility journey and all that. And I'm just like, this might be why my ovaries don't work. I don't
Right.
know.
And
I think I'd rather be ashy.
I am thinking about that a lot now, 'cause I
Mhm.
love to smell good. But
Mhm.
now when I'm using things, I'm always thinking like, is this what Sandy's talking about? What kind of chemicals are in here? And
Mhm.
sometimes I wish I had Sandy on, side dial. Hey Sandy, what chemicals should I look out for? But then she did make a point that we just, have to do our own research and find out what works for us and the things that we need to avoid. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been using like the pure shea butter.
Hmm.
And now I'm thinking about, adding some essential oils to it, the ones that are good for skin and stuff like that. Because yeah, same as you, just it makes you really wonder. And it's just been like years and years. And I mean, of course, they just started modifying things in our lifetime. But it's like, can I cut down on the toxins? Look, it looks like Jesus right there. Like, "Ah, can I cut down on the toxins? Jesus, like, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Lightning
um,
moment.
right. We go to the next page. Yeah. So we mentioned, wait, no, page 37. Oche put a comment in the group, or he made a post in a group about when he got to the section of the book that was about what men can benefit from and how men approach essential oils and using them. And he was kind of saying, you know, how he was ignorant to all this stuff before, like he never even thought about it. And now he read this and I think he either put a screenshot, I think, or he typed out like what different oils. Am I making that up? Like sometimes I get tired, but I remember that he was mentioning that there were.
I believe. I believe he put a screenshot up.
It was a screenshot, yeah.
And it had all of the bullet points of the different oils that men can use, or that, you know,
are beneficial
for men.
Yeah. And I love, you know, we don't have a ton of dudes in our group, but I love the men in our group because they are so enlightened. Like just to come into a group like this and to kind of like actually participate in what we're doing. There's one guy who watches the live streams all the time. I'm just like, you are the coolest person, right? Because it's like a group full of girls who are really just talking about stuff that, you know, we're trying to push our life forward in 2020. And then we get these dudes in here who are also trying to push their life forward. And then for him to share his blog with us, I think it comes out every Monday, and then share his insights on the book. I was just blown away. I was like, thank you. Thank you.
Shout out to the men.
Shout out to Oche. What's up? But they have this, she has this oil, Shoetron. I think you call it Shoetron. It's a trademarked blend from, what is it? Young Living. That is specially formulated for men to boost feelings of masculinity and confidence. Mm-hmm. And then it says it appeals to both men and women. I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to. Like, I'm good. But yeah, that's just, I mean, just the thought of that is like, you could actually have an oil going that, you know, helps you get stuff done. Like you feel strong and confident and, you know.
Even this section brings me to a point you made last week. You know, like when you said you were reading and you had a question like, oh man, I wonder how this works. And then bam, the next page she has it.
Yeah.
So like I was thinking before this page came up, like, how am I going to get James to like get him on board? I'm just going to have to, you know, be in my own holistic journey. And then it was like, bam, oh, we got you, men. You know, all of the stuff that makes you feel good and strong. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because, you know, my husband loves his beard care and he loves to smell good. And he's like really into grooming and stuff like that. So, you know,
nice.
This whole section is going to be my selling point to my husband, who is a very, you know, strong-willed and in his ways type of person. So,
and just add it in slowly here and there until, no, that makes so much sense. I get that. I can't wait to see when he's pushing them and he's just like, you know, I've been using them. Nice and thick and full and shiny and lustrous.
It took me so long to get him like that with eating and just other health things. And so now I'm like, all right, phase 2, one step at a time, Sandy. I heard you.
Yeah, we're getting it. It's hard though. Like let me see if I can't really see it back there. The deliveries just came today because we finally ran out of Tide. And so remember my first step was do the laundry stuff and we ran out of time. I was like, I got to do a load today. I'm like, I hope the mail comes today because, you know, I'm not going to the store to buy any more of this stuff. Like, this is my first step. So today is the day, you know, like, let's see how it goes. Yeah, I'm excited though.
I thought you were trying to show us Uncle Joe when you.
Oh, no, he's.
Hey, Uncle Joe.
Not quite sure what's going on. I think it's lunchtime. So yeah, let me see. So, page 40. Oh my goodness. I think our son is named Joshua. He tells his story. It was either this story or the housekeeping story when I was just like, I was done. Like, I mean, I wasn't like boohoo crying, but I was kind of getting a little misty. I was like, oh,
so heartfelt, right? Yeah.
Yes, because it's just so life-changing to think about this being so simple and actually changing people's lives and not just your own, because we definitely want to change our own. But then you have this little kid and there's a picture of him in the book and he is adorable. And he's saying that like, you know, his asthma is so bad, and she tells his whole story in the book, but his asthma so bad that like he breathes in stuff and now he's wheezing and coughing and all this stuff. And, you know, I got 2 little kids. And when I think about that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't imagine having your child there and they can't tolerate smells. It kicks them into an asthma attack. You don't know if you're going to end up in the ER, and then just being helpless to, you know how to stop it or prevent it, because he has to go places where things smell funny, and then just to find something that works. And he's able to tell his own story to say like, this is how it makes me feel that my mom has changed our home to this essential oil lifestyle.
All the feels. Listen, on this one part when he said they make me feel safe, I mean, as a mother, you know, our pride and, you know, existence, you know, is surrounded around, am I doing a good job of raising humans for the next generation? So to hear your child say, yeah, a decision that you implemented makes me feel safe. Good job, mom. I mean, let's drop the mic right there. And
Right.
you really stop the book right there. You know,
Right.
I was that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Me too.
So
Me
beautiful.
too. Like I was choked up just because, yeah, that whole feeling like you want to do the right thing. And you're just like every day. We used to talk about this a lot about failing. Every day it was like, did I fail? Did I pass? And then we used to encourage each other and just be like, you showed up, you passed, you know? And it was like, this is so much further than showing up. Like she gave him something that the doctors couldn't give him.
Absolutely.
You know? And so it's just like breathing again, back to the breath. The most basic automatic thing that we do is breathe. And you have a kid who is like, the most basic automatic thing that we do is breathe. And his is, you know, is not working right. He's on the nebulizer machine several times a day. He has to go to the ER just to be able to breathe. Like that is terrifying. Not to mention the financial, you know, you got to pay all these co-pays and this stuff that you just can't predict. To be able to like take that away from your life and just be like, I'm not worried about him having to breathe. Like he's good.
Right.
I mean, I can't even imagine. So he's going to grow up. He's going to be awesome for some woman out there somewhere as a husband. He'll probably be educating his wife. Hopefully not. Hopefully we get the word out to where, you know, kids are growing up and this is the new normal. But he's starting out on the right track. And it's all because of his mom. And he's featured in a book. It's like, you're in a book, dude. Like,
you know, it's the stars from here, son.
Right, exactly.
Already writing inserts in books. So
right. Yes. I'm so excited. Okay, somebody's here. Who's that? Is that Sandy? Sandy's here. Sandy says, hey ladies, I'm here. Hey Sandy. We are talking about your son. I think his name is Joshua. He is adorable. And now he's a co-author.
Yes. We're just loving on you and your family, Sandy. You guys.
Good job, Mom.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. And then let's see. She has a chapter, starts on page 42, about the immune system. We talked a lot about the immune system last week, about how your body is constantly fighting off these insults and fighting off disease. And instead of adding more toxins that it has to fight, why not help? Why not support? So on this page, she says, building your immune system is not so much about supplementation, but cleansing and balancing the system, which I think is it's like a mindset shift, right? It's a totally different idea when you think about, like, even when you're going to the doctor, you're getting something that adds to what your body's already doing. This is talking about just cleansing, like taking the toxins out of the air. Right. And can we balance the system so that it can do what it's supposed to do instead of adding something else to it? Now it's got to break this down. Now it's got to do that. Why don't we add something that'll help balance? I thought that was good.
So many points that lead back to, you know, the synergy of nature and the body doing what it's supposed to do. Just that simple, happy home living. Oh, I tied that in. Great. You saw that? Yes. I love it all.
All right, let me see. I had, page 43. In 2020, losing weight and getting in shape is not about looking cute. Investing in a healthy immune system is for my survival. I had to be in radical action. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's so true. Like we used to, you know, it was like a luxury to just try to be looking cute. Now it's like this ain't about looking cute. Like, this is about, like, I need my body to work right and be efficient because the threat is just everywhere and we can't control it. The threat, I mean, I gotta suit up. The only place I go is Walmart. Right? Like, that's the only place I go. I gotta suit up. I put on 2 masks. You know what I mean? Like, we had, long pants. And I'm like, going to Walmart is a threat to my life. Now, COVID here in the Valley has definitely calmed down, is way better. Because remember, we were a hot spot. Like, they were talking about the Rio Grande Valley on MSNBC a couple of weeks ago. It was crazy. Yes, it was nuts. It was very, very scary. And I was like, every time I had to go to Walmart, I was like, this is a threat to my life just to go get groceries. And so it's no longer about being cute. Like, putting these changes into our life is not anything about being trendy or being like, we want to be the hipster, we want to be woke and all this stuff. It's like, no, I'm just trying to like survive and thrive.
I'm really trying to live, and just along this book, along with other literature that tells us that our organs and our bodies are designed to live longer, even longer than, we're living right now. And just, being aware, just being aware of the things that we're putting in our bodies, the things that can cause different breakdowns. I think it's much more important than, looking cute. And I used to be one who, I used to say it's healthy, I'm here for health, but really I want to look cute. I want to look like Beyonce. I want to be able to go into the store and pick those jeans up and know that I don't have to try them on. But, when you start to get a mindset shift and perspective, I want to put things into my body, on my children's bodies that, set us up for long living and to thrive, the people who want to protect so, intensely with our whole lives, we're putting things on them and we're not educated about things that are actually hurting them. And I definitely have a desire to change that, So.
That's so funny you said that. It reminds me of back when I used to, the yo-yo, you try, you fail, you try, you fail, with like getting healthy. And it would always be like, I just want to be healthier. And I had to be honest with myself. And I'm like, I feel young. I don't feel like I just want to be healthier. I was like, I'm going to be brutally honest in my journal. Like, I may not say this to anybody out loud, but in my journal, I want to stop traffic. Like, back in the day, I used to be, people would be like, I'm like, I want to look like that again when I was 19 and everything was where it was supposed to be. Like, I want to stop traffic. And that's, if I was being like super honest, like that's why I was motivated to do stuff. And so it's true. But now I don't so much want to stop traffic. Like, I want to be able to go to Walmart and breathe and not feel super terrified that I'm going to be sick. My kids are going to be sick. Like, I want to live.
Right. Just, to keep up with the energy of your children. Some of the smallest things, I mean, sometimes it's hard if you don't have, foods that support energy and you just have things that are kind of weighing you down, all of these chemicals and additives and toxins and stuff. So,
I don't like going to the doctor. I don't like taking them to the doctor. That's for sure. Especially now. It was like before even it was crazy. Before it was life-threatening to go to the doctor. I didn't want to go. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of giving them stuff that has side effects. Okay. Our last page that we're going to talk about is page 50. This is the story from the housekeeper. This is sort of like the Josh story, the tearjerker, the one that's like, if you, at any way are in your feelings a little bit, like, don't read the story yet because it's just, oh my gosh. Like, okay, you can tell the story.
About the housekeeper?
What the housekeeper wrote. She actually let the housekeeper write this part of the book.
Which was so amazing. So, the housekeeper wasn't really hip to what it felt like to clean green. She thought it was normal to have coughing fits and just like feeling like she had to sneeze and couldn't breathe and stuff like that. And then when she was, when all of these essential oils were implemented and how sparkly white, she writes about things became in like the bathroom and on tiles and stuff like that. She really, she saw what cleaning green did for her own health and wellness, and then to go to somebody else's house, which is so sad, to know
Mhm.
that this family got it right, and they are, it's kind of like they're adding to the collective consciousness. They
Mhm.
are doing, these changes for the, to help their family, but they're also helping me. you
Mhm.
and that's what I was saying to you earlier. I mean, that would be a part of my recommendations, and I mean, I can't go to a house if I can't clean green, because just being exposed to those toxins, were just kind of depleting her quality of life. So then it
Yeah,
had me,
because it.
yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was
it
just
had
gonna say because.
you go, no, you go.
I was just gonna say that she mentions that she's asthmatic, like she's diagnosed with asthma, but she's cleaning people's homes with chemicals that kick off her asthma. So she in there, and she's suffering with her breathing. And it's just like you said, like Sandi changed something to help her own family. And now you have a housekeeper coming in, cleaning and noticing that her breathing is better. I'm like, man, like the choices that we make can affect a lot of other people. But I'm like you, I would be like, hey, I'm a green cleaner now, so y'all need to.
It's you want to look me up, I clean green.
Exactly,
So,
like I'm cleaning with the oils. I'm not using your bleach and all your stuff. You're scrubbing bubbles. I'm not using that. I'm cleaning with the
absolutely.
oils.
And
Yeah,
just that information transfers from one household to the next, and now we have a snowball of greater
yeah,
living. And I think that's amazing. That's what it's
yeah.
about.
I agree with you. I agree. Yeah, so
Speaking
I'm excited. I'm
speaking of
excited.
the bleach, Sandy,
Oh
I
yes,
am
yes.
so excited to make this homemade bleach. I mean, I could just, as she was listing off the ingredients of the hydrogen peroxide, the lemon juice, distilled water, lemon essential oil. Like, as I was imagining it in my mind, it's it feels like it smells like the best bleach in the world. It smells so fresh, and I mean, I can't wait to make it. I'm
Yeah,
definitely about to order this lemon essential oil today.
yeah,
Yeah, because I'm
yeah.
like ASAP.
Yeah, and so Sandy's in the group. She's actually in the comments now. So anybody who's watching the replay, if you want to put a comment, just tag Sandy on it. If you have a question or something, I'm going to try to get her on live at one of these Wednesdays. Because Brandy and I, like we were talking before we went live, we have questions. I know I still have some. I'm gonna write mine down so I don't forget
Yes.
them. But we don't want to like overload you with questions and be like, how about this? And can I call you at 10 o'clock? Because
I know.
because of all these questions. And your book does answer a lot of
A
our
lot.
questions.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to get started. I think, the postman came just before I went live. I think that my laundry kit is here. I cannot wait because that is my first step. And we're going to, I'll let you guys know definitely by next week how it goes with my first few loads of laundry using essential oils. And I got the wool balls that you put the oil on to bounce them around in the dryer instead of dryer sheets. So I'm ready and I'm excited to get started. But Sandi, I may have some questions. I hate to just be like, I got you on WhatsApp. Let me ask
I
you about
know.
this and that. I was
I think
like, yeah.
one general question that I think I would want to know is just like, even, of course, um, marketers like to try to, jump on that health kick, right? But it might not really be healthy. So maybe what are some ingredients to look out for? And
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that there are specific companies like with the laundry kit that, you probably can trust and research. But just some things to look out for in your everyday
Yeah.
uses and
Because you
stuff.
were saying, what was it earlier? You were saying that you were about to use and you wish that you could text Sandi and ask her. And I was saying, put it in the group. And she's writing in the comments. She says, I love to answer any questions. I love helping anyone. That was the purpose of writing the book. So yeah, I think if that happens again, I can't remember what it was, but you were like, oh, I wish I could ask Sandi if this is okay. But guys, in the group, just post it in a group. So when she sees it, just tag her so she can see it and kind of help us out. So I remember at the beginning of the book, she said she had somebody who was a mentor that she was like constantly asking stuff about. And that's how she learned. So she's offering her services to answer, you know, anything that she can. Oh, she says the main thing is to stay away from fragrance.
Okay, so anything that says fragrance is not.
Yeah.
It's
Are
kind of
those
like
the
natural fragrance.
phthalates? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fragrance. Yeah. We need our ovaries to work. I mean, I don't need mine to work, but I do want them to be healthy. Like I don't want them, I don't want my ovaries to rebel against me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she said just tag her because I know sometimes people post things and she won't see it if she's not tagged in it to come to her notifications. So make sure you put like the @ and then SANDI and she'll pop up and you can tag her so she can see you. Yes. So I'm excited. Yes. Thank you so much, Sandy. You are helping us change our lives. It's like perfect timing because this whole month is all about like how can we help our home or how can our home help us manifest? And so many things, like just how we were talking before about smells. So if you know, you want to manifest, you know, this life where you feel light and easy and things are coming to you and money is coming easily. You don't want to walk into a home that reminds you of something heavy or some, you know, a smell that reminds you of something that's not going to help you manifest. But if you have that lemony fresh scent, right? You know, you got that lemon fresh homemade bleach smell and you just feel like, oh, I'm on another level. Like this is my new life. This is something new that's happening with me. So that's my goal right now. I started yesterday on the bathroom. I took you guys on the tour of our little bathroom here and how things felt heavy and felt like work to me. So last night or yesterday, I already started changing things up. I'll probably post a picture. I'll post a picture when the after is really the after instead of like the in between after. But I've lightened up the shelf, changed out a lot of the things that were just cluttery and just made them a little bit easier on the eyes. And I went for a reed diffuser, but at Walmart, the reed diffusers came with the oil already in the little jar.
Oh, yes.
And I didn't like what I was reading on the back of because it wasn't like real essential oils. It was just like something they had concocted. It was basically fragrance. Right. And I was like, no, I don't want that. Like, I just want the jar. Like, I was like, I could take it and just pour it out. But for all that money, I was like, I just really want the jar and the little sticks.
Right.
So while I was looking in that section, I'll show you guys. I will post a picture of this because this is something I'd never seen before. They had a little glass jar with a wooden lid and a ceramic rose on top. And the rose is connected by a wick into the little jar. And so you pour your oils into the little jar and it wicks up and the ceramic rose absorbs all the oil and it just makes the fragrance. Yeah. And so it's like, it's not, you know, like electric, you know, what I mean, it's not like the diffuser. It diffuses your oils just by smell. And my entire bathroom smells like lavender and it's amazing. And I was like, this is so nice. Like, it's just like having a natural air freshener. And the lavender that I have is like the 100% therapeutic grade lavender. So I know that I'm not using something that's kind of like half, you know, that's not really good. So yeah, I will post a picture.
That's amazing. Shout out to you too, because you are just by, you know, sharing your journey, you know, it's creating mindfulness in our homes as well. Like when you were making that live, I was like, oh my God, I wanted to strip, you know, but I have to remember to do one thing at a time. But it definitely, you know, inspired me. Let's
good
bell draw, you know,
good.
Let's make sure that, you know, things are simple and happy and clean. And I definitely want to do that for my household as well.
I get the little, you know how Brene Brown calls it the vulnerability hangover. I get that almost after every single live. I get that. And so yesterday I was like, what are you doing? Like, who do you think you are? Nobody cares to look at your stupid bathroom. You know, it's just
I
like,
care.
this is not, it's not a fancy spot. You know, it's not like a mini McMansion. Like, this is just your little raggedy, you know. And so it was like those voices, you know, the Samson or whatever that you call it inside, like that negative self-talk that's saying like, who do you think you are? Why are you trying to show like, and the big thing that was going on for me was like, your style is not everybody's style. So just because you're telling somebody to lighten up and bring the outdoors in and change, you know, the dark wood to a lighter wood, like, how do you know people don't like colorful things in there? I mean, this was all going through my head. And so I really appreciate you telling me that, because I was having to talk myself out of like, well, you know, I'm just showing people how you could like upcycle stuff. Because at one point, what I did yesterday, I got some contact paper that kind of sticks, and I just like put contact paper on something, and I was like, this is so ghetto and low budget. Like, why are you even going to show somebody that you're upcycling something? And so in my mind, it's like, everybody doesn't have to go out and break the bank and ruin their budget trying to buy all new furniture and all new this and that and new pots for the plants and all that. Like, why can't you just take something and simply make it look better, very simply, and make a huge up level in your manifestation power just by something small? And so, but I was struggling with myself with that. I was like, this morning I woke up, I was like, I cannot believe you showed people this room, like with the toys on the cabinet, naked, you know, buck naked prostitute Barbie hanging out there. I was like, why did you, what are you thinking?
No.
So yeah, no, I appreciate that you got something out of it.
Right. You won't be for everyone, but someone will always find, you know, value in what you have to show. You know, someone needs to hear your voice, and definitely this I'm someone. So
I appreciate that. And even if, you know, that reminds me, like, if somebody is like, oh, this isn't even like a mansion, like, who are you? Then please feel free to leave the group, because that's all we do around here. I mean, because a lot of, I've heard in the past, I actually had to leave some groups because they're like, you're a doctor and this is what, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you know what, but I'm a person. And, you know, I've never subscribed to that kind of attitude of like, well, I'm a doctor, so I have to have, you know, all of my, you know, toothbrush holders must match. It's
right.
like,
Is
I
that
live
really
here.
sparking joy, right? Is that really, you know, sparking real peace and happiness and real joy?
And that's what we're here
For
for.
me,
So
it doesn't.
that is what we're here for. So everybody, if you need some help, if you, Coach Brandy is a certified life coach, like for real, she did the classes, she got the degree, okay? And she focuses on body positivity. I don't know, are you coaching online right now? Or is it just select
You know,
special people?
I'm always seeking clients, always coaching, online, stream calls, you know, just
Yes.
body positivity, just mind shift changes, wellness, health, and just really, you know, changing perspectives.
All the important stuff. So tag Coach Brandy if you need some help with that. She is really awesome with keto. Like, most of my entire eating journey has been because of Brandy. Like, she helped me not be a puffy vegetarian. I like meat, and
Me
meat likes me.
Yes, yes.
All right, but we'll let y'all go. I think we've been going for about an hour again. Oh, 52 minutes and 51 seconds. All right, so everybody, that's the business. Download the book. You can see the title, the author. It's easy to find. I think I've been posting the link on my business page just about every day, maybe once a week, something like that. But it's easy to find the book. I think it's $8 and something at this point if you didn't get it during the free weekend. It's amazing. It's about 80 something pages, the ebook version of it. It is not a long read. It's not going to consume your entire life. Like, you will get something out of it starting with page 1, and that's rare to say in a book. So grab the book. And yes, thank you so much, Sandy, for being on live. Let me see the comments. Okay. Appreciate the conversation. I'll have so much to share. Yes, yes, yes. I will post a picture of the diffuser. All right. Oh, it's $8.99. She's saying it's $8.99. That's less than $10. Come on, to change your life. That is amazing. That's a really good price. I paid a lot more for planners that I only used for a month and hated them. So, yes. Turn my light on here. Let's open up the window. It's getting dark outside. Anyway, squirrel brain, back on target. So we love y'all. We thank you for watching and commenting and posting and sharing. If you have a before picture of a room that you want to up level, like I said, if you start in a bathroom, you get the most kick out of it because you're in there in the morning, you're in there in the evening. Post a picture of it. Don't be ashamed. This is like a, zero overwhelm zone. Nobody is judging and acting crazy. Like, we want to see your transformation. So post your favorite room in the house. Post the room that you're going to up level during Simple Happy Home Month, and let's get it done. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.